Everyone has a story to tell, and here's mine.
Stomps.
Hassan, are you ready?
Yeah.
Play.
Born in a district outside Multan, which is the fourth biggest city in Pakistan. In the 80s, I was the first boy in the family. So, you know, there was already these stories being built around my life that, you know, stated who I would marry, for example, how I would live, how I would grow up to be a cricketer for Pakistan, and I couldn't even walk yet.
دهکده‌ای که حسن خان در آن به دنیا آمد، منطقه‌ای کوچک و صنعتی بود که کودکانش سهم چندانی از امکانات شهروندی نداشتند. فرصتی برای تحصیل و رشد نبود. با این همه حسن در 3 سالگی و تنها طی 1 روز از ماه رمضان همین کمترین داشته‌هایش را هم از دست داد.
So I had this habit of waking up with my grandmother early in the morning, which would be around 4 a.m. This particular morning, I woke up and she was making the food for everyone. This is when people would close the fast. I was just throwing around a coin, and this coin slipped out of my hand and I couldn't locate it. In the next 24 hours, I'd lost sight in both my eyes. Whilst I don't remember seeing, whilst I don't remember losing the sight, whilst I don't remember the reaction of those people, what I do remember was just spinning around in machines. Whether that was the CT scans or the MRI scans, I have no idea. And in my head, I can to this day hear the screams of my mother. The next 6 years of my life went something like this. It was like being in a prison, criminalized for something I hadn't done, stuck in my 4 walls, all prospects gone. In fact, with prospect went the respect. It was being installed in me that you cannot pick up a bat, you cannot pick up a pencil, and you definitely cannot go to school. People would talk about me like I was absolutely nothing. They would speak about me in this offensive term, which is, and I don't know if it's my mother tongue, Sareki, or whether it's Urdu, but they would call me Andha, which means blind, but in the probably worst way possible. Really, what is his prospects? What is he going to be when he grows up? Nothing really. I mean, God forbid, when his parents pass on, we know what's happening elsewhere, don't we? Blind people, they become beggars. But they didn't realize that they were the ones with the blindfolds on. They were the ones wearing the shades over their eyes. Because all you have to do sometimes in life is give someone hope. If you can't give them the tools, give them hope. There were these prayers. We were being taken to what we call peas. They were telling me to eat almonds. They were telling me to roll on my head. I was doing the most ridiculous things you could ever imagine because I was told I would get my sight back. And every time there was this failure, this hope gone. I was a loose button, broken from the shirt, no longer in need, spinning around in this forever running washing machine.
در سال 1995 والدین حسن برای درمان دختر کوچکشان که او هم نابینا بود راهی لندن شدند. شهری که سرنوشت حسن را کاملا تغییر داد.
And when I landed at Heathrow Airport, I think it's the first time I probably felt proper firm earth. Now, I don't gamble, I don't play the lottery, but it's like playing the lottery and all 6 numbers falling on your side. So I started at the school for the blind, forget English. I didn't know English, of course I didn't know English. I didn't even know my alphabet and I was 8 years old, 8.5. I couldn't even count to 10. I went into school and they wrote my name in Braille and I stuck it on my jumper and it said Hassan. Hassan. I read these 6 characters and I went home and I said, today I've understood the power of education. Now suddenly everything was falling my way. I'm studying, I'm living life, I'm loving life. I had mobility classes, which means that I was learning how to get around the local area by using a cane, stick. The old Hassan is dead. To walk around Wimbledon on my own as a 14, 15-year-old was magical. To be able to read a book was insane.
تنها یک چیز بود که حسن کمبودش را در زندگی جدید حس می کرد. کریکت محبوب ترین ورزش پاکستان است. بازیکن کریکت شدن رویای هر جوان پاکستانی است.
Metro Blind Sport contacted my school and they were looking for young enthusiastic cricketers. There was these 30, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds playing cricket at such a high level. And they weren't just playing cricket, they were talking about their lives, their jobs, their wives. And I said to myself, from next week, I'm going to come here myself. I'm going to learn how to walk around London. I'm going to learn how to be like these people. I'm going to live a life they are. I'm going to work one day. I'm going to lead a normal life. And 2 years later, I was playing for the England blind cricket team. And at the age of, 17 and a half, 18, in Sri Lanka, I received this cap, the 3 lines. The proudest moment of my life.
England's blind and visually impaired side. Hassan Khan credits playing for the England visually impaired team as changing his life.
When I was playing back in the day then, I was the first Asian, the first Pakistani, and I was the only brown boy in the team.
حسن با تیم ملی نابینایان انگلستان در 4 جام جهانی حضور یافت. جایزه معتبر دی اشز که عنوان مجموعه رقابت‌های بین انگلستان و استرالیاست را به دست آورد و به دور تا دور جهان سفر کرد.
You could not make it up. You think these things are told in movies, and this is ironic, and this is beautiful. This is poetic justice.
مهمترین شاخصه کریکت نابینایان توپ این ورزش است. توپ بازی‌های ملی و بین‌المللی به لحاظ اندازه با هم تفاوت دارند. سطح بیرونی توپ کریکت از چرم است. هسته مرکزی توپ حجمی از چوب پنبه است که دور تا دور آن را نخ پوشانده. در کریکت نابینایان داخل توپ با ذرات ریز شنمانندی پر شده. پرتاب، حرکت و ضربه به توپ باعث به وجود آمدن صدا و در نتیجه جهتگیری درست بازیکنان می شود. اولین قدم پیدا کردن نقطه رجوعی برای جهتگیری است. هر حرکت دیگر بازی همراه با صداست. از جمله کوبیدن چوب به زمین برای اعلام آمادگی ضربه زن.
Obviously not being able to see, I rely on my hearing a lot. I also use something called echolocation. And by that click, you can find your way out of certain situations. Sound has been and will be a major part of my life.
پرتاب کننده به صدای بلند بازیکن مقابلش را می‌خواند.
Hassan, are you ready?
و ضربه زن آمادگیش را به صدای بلند اعلام می‌کند.
Yes.
کریکت نابینایان تمام و کمال به صدا تکیه می‌کند.
Blind cricket isn't full of totally blind people, so we have 3 different categories that play blind cricket, international blind cricket. They are B1, totally blind, B2, they can see up to 5 degrees, B3, up to 20 degrees. So there's a mixture of sight.
حسن یک کریکت باز B1 است. تمام توانایی حضور و ایفای نقشش در میدان بازی به قدرت شنواییش بستگی دارد. زاده لندن نیست، اما ریشه هایش را عمیق در خاک این شهر دوانده. شهری که در آن زندگیش معنای دیگری پیدا کرد. شهری که هرگز آن را به چشم ندید. و با این همه آن را خانه می‌خواند.
Where I'm sitting right now is where I came as a 17-year-old. And to this day, it brings tears to my eyes because people here wouldn't realize the impact this place has had on my life. It's such a rich country in terms of what it offers and in terms of how we accept people for who they are, how we accept people for what they are. We don't look at their disability. We see for what they are. And they're people, aren't they, at the end of the day?
It's a really good ball. That's the one I need to hit.
Disability is just the ability to do something else, to do something different. My story doesn't mean that I hate Pakistan. My story doesn't mean that our countries are a horrible place to live in. It's just a horrible situation sometimes. You have to believe. Look at me. You have to believe. Give someone the tool to live their life. Give someone the power to be what they want to be. And you will live happy, you will die happy, and I'm sure you'll be rewarded.